So we need to bring back that human aspect, human factors, human skills that robots, VR, AI cannot reproduce and will not and should not reproduce, so that we can finally use the technology we have available for us for our betterment, for the development of humankind, not for the enslavement of humankind.
Hello, we're here with Fateme Banishoeib. She's a traveler, a poet, a scientist, an author, and even founder of Renew Business, right? How are you, Fateme?
Hi, Miguel. I'm well. This is a spectacular view from here. I'm very happy to be here in
wonderful and sunny business, in sunny Lisbon.
Sunny Lisbon. I'm very happy to be here and meeting you.
Perfect. So, tell us a little bit about your background. I know you're a scientist. You even have a patent file under your name. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, I'm a scientist. I have a master's degree in pharmaceutical chemistry at the University of Rome, Italy. After that, I decided I wanted to continue. I was in love with research and development, and went to Belgium, where I got my PhD in organic chemistry, and start working for a pharma company very soon. First as researcher, then I move into quality, then I move into distribution, organization, manufacturing, and at the end into strategy.
And you're an author too. Explain us a little bit about it.
Yes, Frivolution is my latest book. It's a journal, it's a self-help journal, a year-long inspiration for any author to connect back with their truest and highest self. So for every day in a year, they will have prompts, mantras, inspiration, instigation, as I call them, and so they will write their map back to themselves. So I'm there just to hold their hands, but they will be the author of their own book, their own Frivolution.
So you're helping people doing an inner journey to better themselves?
Exactly. It's an inner journey to reconnect with all the parts that make us whole and complete. And that's why we are all the authors of our own life.
And what's perfect about it is because you're trying to tie that up with entrepreneurship, with business. So tell us about that link. How are you going to mix poetry with the business? Tell us about it.
Well, I'm a firm believer that to innovate business, to renew business, which is also the name of the company I founded in 2017, we need to transform first ourselves and how we approach to life. There is a disconnect between what we do and who we are, and this misalignment causes suffering, stress, burnout in certain cases. So the only way we can create a business that is life-giving rather than life-taking is through reconnecting with the truest part of ourselves. Poetry has been for me the way in which I myself reconnected with myself, my creative side, my innovative side. And it's not just a case. I mean, expression and self-expression are part of our humane needs. And if we don't do that, so if we don't express our emotion, our creativity, our imagination, business is going to suffer. And we know today that one of the critical things that business is looking for is innovation, creativity. How are we going to do that if in the first place we don't let ourselves to be truly creative and innovative and express ourselves?
Tell us a real-world example of how are you going to implement it. Are you going to help business leaders to achieve their better selves?
Well, I work with organizations and with leaders in a program, in a way that I developed and created. So the pillars of Renew Business are integrity, inclusion, and innovation. So we start in every program, either be that a program for a leader or a program for a team or a program for an entire organization. We first start with integrity. So reconnecting and bringing in all the elements that have been excluded and carved out. Once we have done that, we can talk about inclusion. So creating that environment when those elements, those people, those skills, those emotions can foster and grow. And only after that, we can see as an outcome the innovation that business is so much seeking for. And this can be done in, and I do already, in a one-on-one work, so mentoring and coaching with individual people, or in a form of workshop or retreat for entire teams and organizations.
So you're helping not only the people on top, but also the managers, the people that are managing other people, right?
Exactly, because there is an element that was missing for me. We talk so much about people development, which of course we all have to do on our own. We have to increase and expand our awareness and get self-mastery and self-leadership. However, if on the other side the organization doesn't have a system or a process or an entire environment that is conducive of that, we miss an opportunity.
Tell us about your TEDx experience.
Well, it's a very sweet memory for me. It was 2017. Yes, 2017. The topic of the TEDx Lugano was professions of the future. So yes. What better topic for me?
Exactly.
And I dare to bring poetry on the stage of TEDx Lugano. It was a very profound experience that helped me to gather my ideas and collect my idea. I just started with my business. It was a very young business, so it allowed me to formulate a message and how I wanted to deliver that message. And it also helped me to connect to many people and made me realize that I'm not the only one that craves this humanity or making business human again. There are so many people out there. I might be unique in the sense of wanting to do that through poetry. There are so many people out there that they're trying to do their best.
What do you think about the role of women in business? What's your take on that?
Well, this is a very dear topic to me. Of course, I'm a woman, and I've been very often the only woman or one of the few women into the role I covered in corporate. To me, there has not been in the past 50 years any real advancement of seeing more women into certain roles. And I think because there is still a misunderstanding with what real diversity and inclusion is. We think that to have more women is just having a number of women enough in certain positions and will help us to have their voices represented. I completely disagree with that. I think that we need to shift the model again and bring a feminine point of view into an entire process. So it's not about how many women I have, but do I hear their voices or not? And that's not just for women, it's about anyone else. That's true inclusion to me.
About your company, Renew Business, where do you see your company going in the near future? What are your dreams?
Well, I don't have a specific dreams in terms of growth and expansion in classical terms. I have a different dream. I want that Renew Business is remembered as the organization that brought back the human into business, and I want Renew Business to be remembered as a poetic whisper into organization, and somehow the tool that enable people to connect their rational mind with their heart, so to be able to express themselves.
How did you come about that idea?
Well, it was 2017 when I basically realized that there was something missing, and I wanted to bring all my facets, as you said, the scientist, the businesswoman, the poet, the author, all in one environment, one container. And that's when I created and founded Renew Business. And why Renew Business? Why did I call it Renew Business? Because at the center of it, there is a very simple concept. If we want to renew business, we have to bring the human back at the center of it.
Tell us about that human aspect of things.
Well, it seems almost a paradox in 21st century when we talk a lot about AI, VR, and technology. And I think that's the right moment to talk about humanity, because now we have technology that can support us to do the labor that men don't need to do. And because of this, we can reconnect with our humanity. I don't know if you're familiar used to say that mentally, we are in the 20th century. He said that when we were still in the 20th century. Mentally, we are in the 20th century. Emotionally, we are still in the Stone Age. So we need to bring back that human aspect, human factors, human skills that robots, VR, AI cannot reproduce and will not and should not reproduce, so that we can finally use the technology we have available for us for our betterment, for the development of humankind, not for the enslavement of humankind.
Fateme, tell us a little bit about, in connection with what you're saying right now, the future of work. How do you see these new technologies, AI, VR, coming into place more and more? How do you see businesses thriving? People are going to be the key factor to make this work?
Well, that's a very key question. I think everybody's talking about what's happening to us, what's happening to business, what's happening to my own job. I mean, I speak also with people one-on-one, and there is a lot of fear, I guess, and a misunderstanding of what AI or VR can do or will do. I don't think we should fear about technology taking away our jobs, but we need to be very careful. How are we reinvesting back the money that new technology will bring? How are we freeing main labor and giving them the opportunity to grow themselves as a human being? That's the key aspect. So I think the times are now mature enough to allow this freedom that humankind is always looking for. However, it's going to be a conscious commitment. Are we going to commit to humanity and the development of humanity or not? Otherwise, we can hide simply behind an algorithm that will do everything for us, and then I think it will be very sad.
Having that into account, how do you see the future of work in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I'm observing especially the millennials and what they are bringing into the workplace. A few years back, there were several studies done by major companies like PwC and McKinsey, really studying the millennials, bringing something into the workplace. It is very clear that paycheck rewards are no longer enough to not only attract talents but really to maintain these talents. So I think that in the next 5 to 10 years, if we really don't humanize business, if we really don't make it a human experience in the holistic sense, businesses won't be able to attract those talents. And then it will be a pity, because the thing that business is looking so much after is craving that innovation will be not available for them, will be outside. So I'm seeing that either we want it or not, we'll have to start putting an emphasis on not an assembly line anymore, but really shifting. And this is going to happen either we want or not.
You're an entrepreneur yourself, so could you share with us a good piece of advice with young entrepreneurs?
Oh, well, first of all, believe in your dreams, even when it's tough and everybody else is saying around you, no, you shouldn't do this because everybody else is doing that. Well, that's the sign that because everybody else is doing that, no, go on your own, do your own thing, do the things that brings you alive. Express yourself, and I mean all of us, in a unique way. Not our own unique way, rather than copy pasting what everybody else is doing, and really connect in an empathic way with the so-called customers. They are our heroes. So either we want to help them or not. There is no other way. And when we really empathize with them and we try to provide solutions, then there is a magic click happening. There is an important aspect that we need to consider when starting a business. We really need to fall in love with the problem and understanding why that matters to us and why the solution that we are providing matters to someone else. So it's really about empathy. I think that the more we are able to empathize with our customers, the more we will be able to figure it out ways, so the how to provide a solution that makes sense for the other person. I don't think and I don't believe anymore in the so-called masses solution, those solutions that apply to everyone. I think we are at the turning point. More and more we want something that is customizable to us, because we are acknowledging and seeing what it means, diversity for true.
Yes, the one fits all doesn't work anymore. Right?
Doesn't really work anymore. So I know that is very tempting to follow what everybody else has done, but that worked for that person or for that particular business model. So to figure it out how we can deliver our best solution for our customers, I think we really have to empathize with them, fall in love with their problems, and understanding why we are so passionate about. And to be honest, even having the courage to say, well, I don't really love this aspect, so maybe someone else who is particularly in love with it should take care. And it's tough, especially at the beginning, to say no. It's much easier to say yes, or trying to do what everybody else is doing, you know, the social media and everything else. I don't think that's valid. So understand why you are so passionate about, fall in love with the problem, and really empathize with the customers, and that will give us the points that can guide how we can deliver our best solutions.
How should the entrepreneur deal with adversity?
Adversity. Well, if somebody doesn't like adversity or risk or tough times, should not enter this world, because the hard times are always there, but I don't think to stop us going on our path, just to make us stronger and to validate more what's our idea, to reshape our ideas. So if we look at adversity as challenge, not as challenges but as opportunities, then there is a way out or a way through.
Who should go to meet you at Renew Business? What are the persons?
Well, they are visionary leaders for sure, that want to express themselves as a whole human being, not just as a fragmented small role. People who are really connected and really passionate in making business a human experience, and bring that humanity back in everything that they do. And people who want to reconnect with their creativity and their imagination as a source to solve the day-to-day problems they have.
What do you have to say to that kind of business leader that does not believe in the less mundane aspects of work? things you talk about, what do you have to say to them?
Well, I don't think there is anyone left who doesn't believe. Even if they say, no, I don't believe it, I think they are lying. Because when we really look at, even at data, statistics, creativity and imagination are rated as the top 5 skills of the leader of the future. So I think that everybody is aware that we need more of it.
Tell us some traits that you consider absolutely must for any business leader.
Inclusion. There is no way we can run a business, but even our life, let's be honest, without inclusion. And inclusion is including the pieces or the elements of ourselves, not only the part that is in the highlight, but also the shadow, the thing that we don't like to talk about. And including others, creating an environment that is inclusive and allows others to thrive. I don't think we can talk about leadership without talking about inclusion in a serious way and in a very profound way. I'm a believer that we are all leaders, and regardless of what is our role into an organization, because we first need to start leading ourselves. If we are not able to lead ourselves, we will never be able to lead anyone else, forget about an organization. So when I talk about leadership, I always talk about first the leadership of self, then the leadership of a team, and then maybe leading change and an organization. And inclusion is crucial. If we are not able to be inclusive, if we are not able to have this vision, we don't know where we're going. And sometimes sounds crazy, but it is not crazy. I mean, there is this fire inside that points us to a way, and maybe the road is not even there, but that's our role as a leader, to build that road, so for others to walk it.
Share with us your thoughts about Lisbon.
Well, I love it. I'm really in love with it. It's a beautiful place. It's very dynamic and very vibrant. It's a town. I've been here almost 3 weeks already, and it's so diverse. And this diversity somehow comes together harmoniously and create something magic, and that's, I think, is the beauty of Lisbon. I'm very happy to see that there is so much going on here, and well, I think I could start considering Lisbon as home very soon.
Fateme, thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.